Capital, Tirino Tese, Sonke Skon.
Enjoy ReValue online with TM Pick and Pay Click and Collect. It's time for the news.
We're broadcasting live from our Pocketsil studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jamu and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Well, good evening to you, Zain, and warm welcome to our viewers. My name is Joyce Mabiga. Piswe Jomunika is on sign language.
And of course, later on, Marilyn Gwena will be joining us from our Montreux studios. But we kick off this bulletin with the headlines. President Mnangagwa says capacitation of farmers will reduce agricultural imports.
In other news, a 2025 legal year officially opens.
The Judicial Service Commission is targeting to build public confidence in the judiciary.
In business news, industry restarts production as the annual shutdown ends.
And in sport, Caps United signed 5 players with a target to win the league.
And those are some of the stories to look forward to on this bulletin. Let's head straight to our first story. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has noted the need to capacitate local farmers to ensure the country achieves national food security.
He was speaking during interaction with legislators from across the political divide at his Pre-Cape farm in Kwekwe this Sunday. Let's get more from the following report.
Legislators from ZANU-PF and the opposition Citizens Coalition for Change (CCC) requested to visit the First Family's Pre-Cape farm in Kwekwe, and the request was granted. The members of parliament were taken on a tour of the farm as President Mnangagwa and the First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa hosted them, with traditional leaders also being part of the delegation. As he addressed the legislators, the head of state said the ability of a nation to feed itself places it on a better footing to ensure improved livelihoods.
To me, the first basic principle for a country is the ability to feed itself. A country must be able to feed itself. Kana nyika yakwanisa kuzvifida, it earns respect. Nokuti haiwanikwi ichitsvaka chikafu kune dzimwe nyika. Government's role is to capacitate our farmers at every level, so that you may think it is expensive. There are some people in cabinet who think it's expensive to give inputs, free inputs to our people. No, it is cheaper for us to capacitate every single farmer to produce than not to capacitate them when they import. Because when you import, you are sending your own resources outside. It is critically important that you capacitate your own people to have capacity to produce at every level. This is the philosophy of your government. We do our best to make sure we support our farming sector as best as we can. And I'm happy that so far we are managing to remain a food secure country.
President Mnangagwa also outlined plans to increase hectarage under irrigation to climate-proof the country's agriculture sector.
Barring the question of the weather, that we have no control over. But you can always mitigate the impact of weather by creating water bodies and promoting irrigation countrywide. I believe that I've discussed with my Minister of Agriculture and so on, and said to my Minister Minister, suppose there was no rain in the country, but our people who want to eat food, whether there is rain or there is no rain. Now, work out how much hectares of land should be under irrigation, so that whether there is rain or there is no rain, but if we irrigate X amount of hectares in the country, we guarantee basically food security for our country. And my minister has done that. We have not achieved the number of hectares that are necessary, but we are progressing towards that goal.
The traditional leaders, who include the chiefs Siansali and Chane Kumalo, were impressed with the work being done by the First Family.
If all the leaders that got farms are doing the same, because if they were doing the same, we could not have been crying with food as a country. We should be self-sufficient on food. This alone that we have seen can feed provinces. It can fail to feed the nation, but it can feed provinces.
Namhlanje sibonele ngamehlo ami okwenziwa ngubaba lo mama kuleli plaza. Phakathi kwethu esilapha yabona 80% kumbe 90% we have farms wherever we come from. Ngiyathemba ukuthi lokho esikubone lapha namhlanje sizahamba lakho ezindaweni zethu siyezama lathi ngokuncane kwamaplazi ethu ukuthi senze lokho esingakwenza endaweni zethu.
Meanwhile, various legislators were unambiguous on their call for President Mnangagwa to lead the nation beyond 2028. Citizens Coalition for Change Secretary General Sengezo Chabangu spoke on extending President Mnangagwa's term of office, with ZANU-PF legislator Comrade Webster Shamu concurring.
We are here as a family to contest the status quo because we as Zimbabweans, we are here, Your Excellency. If we improve your stay in power and the people of Zimbabwe are happy, let it be, Your Excellency. We have seen in nations like South Africa, Malema will oppose Cyril Ramaphosa, and they will go and wine and drink a wine. They will go and joke in the morning. That's the culture that we wanted to see. Whatever is good, it should be celebrated. Whatever is wrong, it should be condemned together as a family. This is the reason why we came here to embrace what you have done in your farm. When I walk out here, I will face the criticism. It doesn't matter because it improves us as Zimbabweans who are better when we are criticized.
Chef, tilipa msangano nezuro zvakanzi nevanhu mati muri kuenda uku mangwana. Tikati kuna chamu taura kuti tiri kuenda mangwana. Zvikanzi endai munovaudza kuti tachema shumba murambwe. Tachema tapfugama amai. Tamboti mbodonzai musvike mu2030.
The legislators concurred on the need to allow President Mnangagwa to see through the implementation of Vision 2030. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Kwekwe.
Viewers, please note that we will give you a special on legislators' visit to the First Family's pre-cab farm just after this news bulletin.
In another report, former Kenyan Prime Minister and Government Minister, Mr. Raila Odinga, is seeking Zimbabwe's vote when he contests for the African Union Commission chairperson's post next month. Mr. Odinga paid a courtesy call on President Emmerson Mnangagwa at State House in Harare this Monday.
The African Union Summit penciled for mid-February 2025 has one item on its agenda, the election of the Union's new Commission's chairman, following the end of term of Musa Faki Mahamat. And now is the slot for East Africa. Djibouti, Somalia, Madagascar, Mauritius and Kenya have candidates vying for the post. The Kenyan candidate, Raila Odinga, came to State House in Harare to meet the President, Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, who is also the SADC chairman, asking for both the countries and regions to vote. Mr. Odinga said his vision dovetails well with that of President Mnangagwa on continental issues.
As you know, the President of Zimbabwe is also the current chair of SADC. That was really important to come to Harare. But I've been here several times. When I come here, of course, I feel very much at home. We know that Zimbabwe, like several other African countries, faces several challenges, but not unsolvable. These problems can be solved with determination. So we have shared experiences with my brother, President, here. We know where we are coming from, and we know where we want to go. I'm just saying that Africa has got a bright future, but Africa will only be developed by Africans themselves. Foreigners only come to Africa to make money. You must have a clear roadmap and a blueprint how to develop Africa. Africa, as you know, is the richest continent on the planet Earth. The paradox is that the richest is also the poorest in terms of living conditions of its people. But we say that we can change this by doing value addition to the raw materials that we have on the continent. We want to empower our youth by giving them requisite knowledge. We have the artificial intelligence which has come, which can help Africa to leapfrog, to catch up with the other part of the world.
Well said. It was a most amicable discussion. I'm so happy. I believe he's happy too. By extension, the press is happy.
The 80-year-old Kenyan politician said he has what it takes to take the continent to a higher level of development and cohesion for a continental united African government. Ruben Barwa, ZBC News, State of Harare.
A government says it will continue to support indigenous farmers to improve on productivity. More from Gerald Sasa.
Addressing mourners at the burial of prominent Marondera farmer Mr. Thomas Chingwaru at his farm in Marondera this Monday, Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga said indigenous farmers like the late Mr. Chingwaru have played a big role in the country's agrarian revolution, hence commitment by government to continue empowering farmers.
Akanga ari munhu vaibatsira vachiita zvinhu zvaunoona kuti uhu ndo unonzi hunhu. Vashoma vari muhwedza umu kana vari munharaunda dzino vasina kuya kuzosgotenga mombe pano even dzekuti vagochengeta vagoitawo matanga avo. Saka tinoti akanga ari munhu wevanhu. Ndosaka tichimuti sekuru kune magamba asiri gamba rekwedu.
Stakeholders in the agricultural sector described the death of Mr. Chingwaru as a loss to the agricultural sector.
Wakatiitira zvakanaka pawakatengesa nyama cold storage. Wakazopuwa mubairo kunzi mawina maita number 1 kuendesa nyama yakanaka ku Europe.
Tichitaura nezvemombe, imombe dze high quality, ma good breeds. Kana tichitaura nezvefodya, ifodya of high quality, high production.
Zimbabwe Commercial Farmers Union iyo yavaita kuti zvifambe zvakanaka vachita Food Security Committee yeMashona and East yavakaronga, asi haina kuzogumira ipapo. Nokuronga kweFood Security Committee koko naNakaruma Zondo anavambe neni wacho Mapira yakabva yazotorwa naKarimanzira ikaenda kuPolitburo ndobva yazoitwa Maguta, from Maguta ndobva yazoitwa nhasi yatiri kuti Command Brainchild vari chairman kuti zvisvike pazviri nhasi.
The late Mr. Chingwaru bought his farm in 1982 and was one of the leading beef exporters to the European Union and was judged the best cattle farmer in 1997 and was at one time a member of the National Cattle Breeders Association. He was one of the founding members of the Indigenous Commercial Farmers Union and the Mashonaland East Shore Society. He died on the 10th of January after a long illness. Gerald, SABC News, Marondera.
Blair played host to the official opening of the 2025 legal year, with Chief Justice Luke Malaba emphasizing the need to build public confidence in the judiciary through multi-stakeholder participation. We'll be giving you that story as the bulletin progresses.
With the 2025 legal year, a tone having been set, the Judicial Service Commission is optimistic of further propelling its developmental trajectory to bring justice closer to the people. We get more from our news crews.
The year 2024 marked a successful turn for the Judicial Service Commission, JSC, with Harare recording significant milestones in terms of infrastructural development. Deputy Chief Justice Elizabeth Kwaunza, who officially opened the 2025 Harare legal year, highlighted that the decentralization of courts remains a top priority for the JSC.
A significant decision by the JSC in 2024 was the split of Harare province into two administrative provinces, a move that was driven by the growing workload in the region. In 2025, the focus will be on enhancing collaboration between the judiciary, the state, and private actors and citizens.
Law Society of Zimbabwe President Ms. Rumbizai Matambo said the JSC is restoring confidence in the public.
We are very happy that the courts are decentralizing because it improves access to justice, particularly to the vulnerable communities.
In Masvingo province, a total of 810 civil court cases and 1,719 criminal cases were concluded by the High Court last year, with 103 civil and 118 criminal cases still pending. Judge of the Constitutional Court, Justice Ain Gohora, who presided over the legal year opening ceremony in Masvingo, noted the need for another judge at the Masvingo High Court to improve efficiency of the court.
While the stellar performance of the two judges last year is commendable, it is crucial to recognize the challenges posed by their current workload. The Masvingo High Court serves a vast jurisdiction, encompassing not only Masvingo province, but also parts of Matabeleland South and the Midlands provinces.
In Manicaland province, the official opening of the 2025 legal year took place at Mutare High Court, where issues of performance were on the spotlight, with the High Court being commended for recording a 100% clearance rate of cases in the past 2 years. Presiding over the ceremony, Judge of the Constitutional Court, Honorable Justice Benit Hashwayo, outlined the outstanding achievement by Mutare High Court.
In 2023, the Mutare High Court had managed to achieve a 100% clearance rate for both the criminal and civil division. It has continued to demonstrate exceptional performance by managing to maintain the 100% clearance rate for the criminal, civil, and the newly established family division.
The Manicaland Legal Practitioners Association is also happy with the case clearance rate and the efforts to revive legal aid.
We are very happy by the way the judges and the support staff are executing their duties, posing a 100% clearance rate of the cases.
Time to acknowledge some of our viewers who are watching from all over the world.
They are watching from our Facebook page as ZBC News Online, and we are also live on YouTube. We are ZBC News Online, and watching from Brits, northwest of South Africa, is Jefferson Dasha.
Okay, we've got Dixon Majaha watching from Odzani Mutasa district all the way from Manicaland. We appreciate the support.
We appreciate, and the Samuel Danisa Mpofu is saying a very good evening to you, our Zimbabweans and our ZBC family. Always listening from England. Well, they tuned in from England, and they're saying they're happy to see our politicians working together and also, you know, just concentrating on positive criticism and building our country.
And we also have Mapesa, who says, thank you, ZBC, for keeping us informed. I watch from England every day. We appreciate the support.
We appreciate Dixon Maja says this shows maturity on behalf of our politicians. And he says, you know, Nika, inovakwa nevayo, ilizo lakiwa labanikazi walo.
Absolutely. We also have Honest Guramatunu Dewa, who says, good evening, Zimbabwe. Now continue showing some love on our social media platforms. We are at ZBC News Online.
We are ZBC News Online, and of course we also want you to share our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We are ZBC News Online. In our next report, Bulawayo played host to the official opening of the 2025 legal year, with Chief Justice Luke Malaba emphasizing the need to build public confidence in the judiciary through multi-sector participation. Our reporter Yolanda Moyo filed the following report.
The 2025 legal year was officially opened this Monday at the Bulawayo High Court, with Chief Justice Luke Malaba presiding over the proceedings, setting the tone for the judiciary. The Judicial Service Commission's decision to host the event in Bulawayo reflects its commitment to decentralize access to justice in line with the Constitution and the government's National Development Strategy 1 to devolve public services. For the year 2025, the JSC seeks to build multi-stakeholder partnerships as it moves to enhance justice delivery in the country.
Will serve to reinvigorate and redirect the judiciary and all stakeholders in the justice delivery system to spend energies on making decisions and doing acts prescribed by law to build public confidence, not only in the judiciary, but in all justice sector institutions. That objective requires that there be a common interest to deliver on the constitutional obligations that serve the administration of justice expeditiously and in accordance with the relevant legal procedures.
To improve on justice delivery, the JSC is this year set to implement the level 4 of the integrated case management system and fast-track courts.
The introduction of the system in the magistrates' courts will be the fourth and final phase of the implementation of the IECMS. The Commission has already taken a policy decision that the process to put the magistrates' courts under IECMS starts in earnest in January 2025. I expect the team in charge of the implementation of the IECMS to put all hands on the deck and ensure that the process commences smoothly. A phased approach will therefore be adopted, under which the IECMS will be implemented on a province-by-province basis. The two provinces that will commence the full implementation of the IECMS are Mashonaland Central Province and Matabeleland North Province. It is emphasized, however, that in some areas of court operations in the magistrates' courts are already wholly under the IECMS.
The year under review 2024 was one of the busiest years for the Judicial Service Commission as it continued with its thrust of decentralizing access to the justice system.
During the course of the year under review, additional regional courts were opened at Kwekwe, Mutoko, Zishavane, Mbare, and Guruve. Whilst all the other regional courts are now fully operational, there have been delays in operationalizing Guruve Regional Magistrates Court because of the need to set up appropriate facilities.
The JSC continues to perform better in clearing of backlogs. The Chief Justice emphasized the critical role of judicial officers in upholding the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. The Judicial Service Commission continues to implement a number of initiatives that are meant to enhance public confidence and increase access to justice system in Zimbabwe, and some of these include the implementation of the IECMS at the provincial magistrate this year, the introduction of fast-track courts, and also the continued trajectory of decentralization of courts in all parts of Zimbabwe. Yolanda Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The historic official opening of the 2025 Judicial Service Commission legal year in Bulawayo for the first time has been described as a major milestone in advancing decentralization of the justice delivery system.
The judiciary sector said the historic move, marveled at by the public, is an indication that the Judicial Service Commission is walking the talk in ensuring judicial services are accessible countrywide.
I think what is important to note first is the decentralization approach that has been taken by the Chief Justice and the Judicial Service Commission in the spirit of devolution and NDS1. For the first time in Bulawayo, the official opening has been graced by the Chief Justice himself, and that is commendable, and it shows commitment to all areas, and we hope that it will decentralize and cascade to other areas within the region.
Well, the decentralization process for us as a stakeholder, a critical stakeholder in the justice delivery sector, is a major milestone. We applaud the Judicial Service Commission for what they've done to Bulawayo and for bringing this momentous event to the city of kings and queens. To us, it further confirms their trust as far as enhancing access to justice to all the provinces in the country are concerned.
It is actually a good move to actually observe devolution or to practicalize it, to put it into perspective so that every government department can be represented in every province. It gives us public confidence. It shows us that efforts are being made to actually reach out to all the provinces.
The move is also in line with the Second Republic's devolution agenda.
The speech by the Chief Justice was very, very comprehensive and covered the relationship of the judiciary and citizens, covered the internal things that the judiciary has been doing around, for instance, the training of judicial officers, covered the devolution of justice, decentralization of justice.
Well, it's imperative that whatever goals are set at the end of the year must be achieved. The public will be impressed to know that what was set out at the beginning as the goals have been achieved or more than achieved. So in that respect, it was impressive.
The 2025 legal year official opening ran under the theme Building Public Confidence in the Judiciary Through Stakeholder Participation. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
A government says it is all systems go for the opening of schools as all heritage-based materials have been deployed, while plans are underway for the recruitment of at least 8,000 teachers to reduce the teacher-pupil ratio. The details.
As school term begins this Tuesday, government has put in place mechanisms to ensure all schools open, while also introducing the heritage-based curriculum. Responding to questions from journalists during a ministerial briefing at the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Boardroom at Munumtapa Building in Harare this Monday, the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Tori Moyo, said all is in place for the commencement of the new term for students.
Takaita gadziro yakasimba yekuti zvikoro zvigone kuvhurwa zuva ramangwana musi wa14 Ndira 2025. Takakwanisa kutraina atinoti masupervisor. Takavatraina panhau yezve heritage based curriculum takakwanisa kutumira mumaprovinces ose ma-teachers guides. Zvakare takatumira masyllabus eprimary ose. Asi chatakaita inhau yekala. Takati kala yakaguma gore rapera kunyorwa. Saka gore rino iri tiri kushandisa yatinoti school-based project.
Government is also aware of the shortage of teachers, hence plans to recruit 8,000 teachers this year.
In terms of recruitment, we submitted our bids to recruit teachers. We are expecting to recruit not less than 8,000. These are the teachers that we recruit under expansion recruitment.
In terms of access to education, government built 104 schools last year in 300 classrooms blocks.
We are also going to utilize part of that money on school construction, which is very important. It's mandatory for us as ministry, as government, to build new schools.
The Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jane Mswere, said government is working tirelessly to ensure connectivity within schools as a way of supporting e-learning strategy.
There's been a lot of expansion in terms of fiber and at the same time last mile and first mile connectivity through other private sector institutions and also through ZANET. The licensing framework has allowed also IACs and ISPs, other new players, to be in a position to contribute towards the bridging of the rural-urban divide. So the national e-learning strategy target is 1,500 schools per year.
Other issues emerged from the briefing include the setting up of innovation hubs at schools, proliferation of illegal schools, the provision of free education, which is currently taking place in various forms, and the demand for payment for extra lessons remains illegal, and school authorities have been warned against coercing parents to purchase uniforms from schools. Bruce Shawanda, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, scores of boarding school learners tracked back to their respective schools this Monday. Let's get more from the following report.
It was a hive of activity in Harare Central Business District this Monday as boarding school learners returned to their learning institutions ahead of the first term, which starts this Tuesday. Seeing their children off to school was a huge sigh of relief for parents and guardians.
Mwari vatigonesa tawana ma resources ekuti vana vedu vadzokere kuchikoro. Zvinokosha zvinofadza sevabereki kuendesa mwana kuchikoro nekuti ndo pane utungamiriri hwamangwana.
Tikurundira kuti vana vaite sei vadzidze, we sacrifice kuti vana vaende kupi vaende kuchikoro.
Back to school ka yagara inenge ingoriko makore ese, saka inongoda kurongeka kwako mubereki chete. Takutongotiwo -1 burden. Takasungikana munongoziva kuti festive season mari dzinoita se dzinobuda dzakati wandei.
Overwhelmed with the back-to-school excitement, students, including those in Form 1 classes, promised to work hard.
Zokufara kuti ndakuenda Form 1 ndikumutora Shanga High School. Ndikupromisa mama na daddy kuti ndigopasa chikoro ndigovafadzawo. Ndikunzwa kufara kuti ndakuendawo secondary ndichibva kuprimary.
Parents andiboma disappointed nekuti vari kushingira vachibhadharira school fees saka azvizobude.
Deputy Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Angeline Gacha, visited various pickup points in Harare and took time to raise awareness among students and guardians on the dangers of bullying.
Tagara titorine hedu a secular 6 of 2023 yakanyorwa ku Minister of Primary and Secondary Education outlining ma issues of bullying. Angatato jaira kuti we take it very normal. Kuti kune chinonzi chinyunyu, kune chinonzi kugededzana. I am calling or advocating kuti to strengthen our policy of bullying.
In Bulawayo, parents and guardians accompanied their children who are in boarding schools to different points of departure ahead of schools opening this Tuesday. Parents and people say they are ready for the heritage-based curriculum, which is set to be implemented starting this first term of 2025.
ngilethemba lokuthi kuform 2 ngizayenza kuhle ngoba leli sikolo sengisijayele.
We've done all we can to make sure that our kids are able to go back to school.
What we are expecting from our kids is that they should have to work very much harder so that they can actually take cognizance of their life.
It has been tough, the journey is not easy, but we are glad that they are going back.
The government has expressed readiness to implement the heritage-based curriculum, with development and distribution of syllabus and other critical materials having been done.
We wish our learners all the best this term. Remember, these and more stories are available on our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you can get in touch with us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin. In business news, industry restarts production as the annual shutdown ends.
And in sport, Caps United signed 5 players with a target to win the league. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back with you shortly.
The Zimbabwe Tourism Authority is calling all operators of tourist facilities who have not registered or those with expired licenses and certificates to come forward and register their facilities in compliance with the provisions of Section 36 of the Tourism Act, Chapter 14, 20 of 1996 by 15 February 2025. According to Statutory Instrument Number 106 of 1996, categories of the tourist facilities that must be registered with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority include but are not limited to conference organizers, restaurants, whether in hotel or otherwise, fast food restaurants, vehicle, bicycle, boat, bus hire, courier shops, tour operators, hunting operators, tour guides, non-hotel conference facilities and venues, travel agents including those online, accommodation including hotels, lodges, guest houses, camps and campsites, bed and breakfast accommodation, Airbnb accommodation, visitor attractions including game parks, farms, art galleries, visitor activities including golf, horse riding, bungee jumping, wedding venues, picnic or bright sports, open air function venues. All facilities that register or renew their licenses and certificates on or before the 15th of February 2025 will have no penalties charged. From the 1st of March 2025, the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority, in conjunction with law enforcement agents, will be deployed to bring all unregistered facilities to book. For further information and assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us at the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority offices that are located across the country. Travel and experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
Everybody needs a little time away. I heard her say from each other.
Join Zimbabwe's top-performing high schools recognized by Cambridge International with a proven track record of over 90% pass rate, academic excellence, Cambridge curriculum, wide range of subjects in the commercials, arts, sciences and technical vocational career pathways, experienced teachers guiding your child's success, state-of-the-art facilities, modern boarding facilities with professional chefs providing nutritious meals, a variety of sporting activities including athletics. Enroll now for 2025. Contact us today to secure your child's spot at Zimbabwe's premier high school.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. In our next report, the disbursement of top-dressing fertilizer is on course, with over 3,000 tons having been distributed to farmers countrywide under the Presidential Input Scheme. A representative of the firm mandated to distribute the commodity to farmers, Mr. Ngoni Kandie, outlines the distribution process. Let's get more.
The importation of top-dressing fertilizer has intensified, with one of the biggest companies mandated by government to supply the commodity, FSG, expressing its readiness to bring in 30,000 metric tons of the commodity by end of next month.
For the numbers that we are targeting, currently we have moved up to 15%. For the past couple of weeks that we have started moving fertilizer to various GMB depots. And all going well. We are focusing that we should be done deliveries for top dressing by the end of this coming month.
The Grain Marketing Board, GMB, confirmed that its all systems go at GMB depots.
We have received Compound D and it has been distributed. Currently we are receiving and dispatching top dressing across all our depots. Fertilizers is being distributed across the existing systems, working with Agritech's officials.
A loading of the top dressing fertilizer was in full swing when the ZBC News visited some of the warehouses in Harare this Monday.
Malori atiri kuloda yakuenda kuma GMBs nokuti varimi yezvinezvi va busy ku fertilizer chibage chavo. Saka tiri kuloda malori achienda munzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana dzenyika.
With the fertilizer now being dispatched to various GMB depots countrywide, farmers should approach their nearest Agritech's offices to access the fertilizer within the recommended window period of applying the top dressing. Tendai Munengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
We're now crossing over to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, and it is Marilyn Gwenya on the other side to give us more news from that end. A very good evening to you, Marilyn. It's over to you.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Joyce. Here's hoping you had an amazing day. And now in our following report, Matabeleland North Province is set for significant growth this year, with several key projects nearing completion.
The Gwaishangan Dam project is on track to achieve its target water catchment by the 2025-2026 rainfall season, pending the release of funding from Treasury. The province also anticipates the opening of Lupane General Hospital, its largest referral hospital, with first decommissioning scheduled for the end of the year. Additionally, the rehabilitation and construction of Bulawayo Victoria Falls Road is underway, with contractor Bitumen World currently repairing potholes. Full-scale construction will commence after the end of the rainfall season.
Solar plants amanye angaphelanga esikhangela ukuthi lo nyaka aphela ecommissionwe ngu-president. So silama projects amaningi kubuye kuma-devolution projects like ama-clinics, schools eziyakhiwa e-provinces kuma-various stages of completion. Esikhangela ukuthi ngama-disbursement of devolution funds sizaqedisa ama-projects lana. So yiyo izinto esizikhangeleleyo this year eMatabeleland North Province.
Devolution funds and foreign direct investment are poised to significantly boost the province's gross domestic product.
The investors who are coming on board, bezofaka ama-mines, our coal, our power. Wonile president 3 weeks ago was doing groundbreaking eWange with the power station which is coming up, and this kind of thing kungaba 2 or 3 ama-power stations province. Then lama mines our coal, ama-mines our gold, ama-mines our lithium. So yikho izinto esikhala ukuthi lo nyaka siziphushe ukuthi i-GDP yethu as a province isukume. Even ku-tourism, ngiyabona i-tourism ukuthi ama-tourists abuya njani, loku introduce ama-plane amatsha abuyayo from abroad, abuya lama-tourist. Sikhalela ukuthi i-tourism yethu isukume eMatabeleland North ngo-2025.
These milestones are expected to drive economic growth and improve the quality of life for residents of Matabeleland North Province. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Government says it has adequate vaccine stocks to combat livestock and crop diseases which are prevalent during the rainfall season.
Rains remain a huge blessing to every farmer, while also assuring the nation of food security. However, disease complications usually arise, and farmers have suffered a terrible fate on many occasions. Government says it has put adequate measures to ensure livestock diseases are combated, while also distributing chemicals and equipment for cropping.
Stakeholders of the livestock industry should expect an increase, a general increase in animal diseases across the country. This upsurge in diseases not only caused by a corresponding increase of causative agents and vectors which transmit diseases, like an increase in insects, microorganisms, viruses and bacteria, they also multiply and increase.
As a spraying kule fall armworm esihluphile asisprayeni ngoba uhulumende uyanika ama-knapsack uyanika le mithi yona leyana and ngi-encourage kakhulu izisebenzi zikahulumende eze-RX ukuthi hambisani i-fertilizer ebantwini lingaphambule enye i-fertilizer seliqasa ukuyazithengisela selidinga izimali uhulumende uzalibopha.
Tick-borne, soil-borne and vector-borne diseases are the most common during the rainfall season, while the fall armyworm also affects crops. As the country anticipates a successful agricultural season after being bruised by last year's El Nino-induced drought, authorities are not taking any chances, thus have ensured adequate mitigation measures to protect agricultural output. Mhlomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Wange.
Over 900 digital tablets have been distributed to veterinary and agri-tax officers in Mashonaland Central Province.
It was all smiles for over 900 veterinary and agriculture extension officers who received each an upmarket digital tablet in Bindura, courtesy of President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who is spearheading agriculture transformation in the country.
Ndafarira zvikuru sei nekupiwa tablet ndichidana zviri zvinondiita kuti basa rangu rireruke pandichaenda kuDB ndichinyora mombe dzauya paDB ndinenge ndichishandisa tablet iro.
Ndafara chaizvo nemagadgets atapiwa basa rangu raakuzoreruka handicharambe ndichidzokera kuarea kunotora information imwe chete.
The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development, Professor Obert Jiri, said capacitation of veterinary and agri-tax officers is a game changer in efforts to transform the agricultural sector.
Internet and AI tools are so advanced. There is 58% chance that it is going to rain here where I am at this particular time. And that is what you can use these things for.
Under the Second Republic, gone are the days when weather-accurate predictions were not accessible to many, with the government committed towards agricultural productivity and ensuring food security in the country.
And that's it for myself, Marilyn Goya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. Joyce is on standby with more news. Joyce, it's back to you.
There to Marilyn Gwenya and our crew at our Montrose studios in Bulawayo. The main news will take a break now. Join us shortly for our business update.
Step up with DSTV and we'll show up by giving you more incredible entertainment.
Going to have a little fun.
Upgrade your subscription between the 13th of January and the 31st of March and get an even higher package for a whole month on us.
To the back of the net!
There's nothing better than putting a little bit in but getting a lot out.
This is the time to take risks.
Incredible!
I've heard good things about you. Don't let me down.
Step up and we'll show up on your home of entertainment, DSTV.
What do you say? Moshe. Have you heard about Marechera? Hanziko. But he says keeper. They say he has this glow about him now. He doesn't walk. Hey. He glides. Yo. And he's so calm that he doesn't perspire.
I heard that he owns a bank.
Let's go.
The most secured bank in the whole world.
And his dollars, he irons his money.
He has got people who irons his money for him.
But have you heard that when he coughs, money just comes out of the blue? Out of the orange. Let's go.
Hey, yo.
Marechera.
Says Keeper, Kakuendeka, introducing the new Mukuru wallet. Send, store, spend. There's Mukuru for that.
Welcome back. You're still watching the main news. Zimbabwe's industry has resumed operations after the annual shutdown with expectations of sustained increase in output.
As per tradition, industries are shut down operations during the festive season with few strategic units remaining operational. The ZBC News established that firms in Harare resumed full-scale production this Monday. It has also emerged that the annual break provided an opportunity for companies to facilitate maintenance of machinery and equipment in preparation for sustained growth in 2025. Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries President Mr. Mucha Mukanganwi and industrialist Mr. Dumisani Ndlovu confirmed the return to full-scale production after the traditional festive season shut down and expressed hope about growth prospects this year.
Last year we had significant investments, and the year before that we also had significant investments. I think it depends on how the market is. As industrialists, we are positive. So if we don't have a drought, we have a good marketplace and people make some money, we will continue to see that trend increasing. So the last 2 years we have seen private sector has been investing, which means that the private sector believes in the economy.
For 2025, we are very optimistic that the business is going to be good. We have prepared for our clients. We've got stock, and then at the end of last year to prepare for 2025, that's when we opened our new retrading factory, which is ranked in the top 20% of the factories in Southern Africa.
Despite the production constraints, industry capacity is expected by authorities to reach over 55% this year after a marginal drop to around 52% during the just ended year. New projects, machinery investments, solving power challenges, and an anticipated favorable agricultural season are factors expected to spur industrial growth. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
From business, we switch to the arts. At a time, Amapiano music is the in thing among youths. 24-year-old Bulawayo-based upcoming Maskandi musician Mtabi Singwenya has become the star of attraction in his hood, owing to his mosaic Maskandi rhythms. Exciting times. Let's take a look at this.
One would expect Maskandi music to be something that appeals only to the older generation, as it is a type of folk music that can be traced back to the 1920s. Surprisingly, 24-year-old upcoming Bulawayo-based Maskandi musician, better known by his stage name Nsindamasi, has carved a niche for himself. He has become a marvel to watch in his hood because of his Maskandi music, which not only appeals to the ear but also carries powerful, encouraging messages.
Mina Maskandi ngithandeti ilomlayezo njalo futhi asibo bonke abafuna ingoma zokujabula
sonke siyazifuna ukuthi ududuzeke kube lo mlayezo. Ukhona abantu abaphila nzima phandle la, omunye bese give up ukuthi impilo yakhe isiphelile, ecathi yonke into ayisekho, but umhlabelele ingoma ekhuluma ngesimo sakhe uyaduduzeka.
Clad in his traditional print gear, together with his group members made up of his siblings and young people from around his hood, they grabbed the attention of onlookers. We have nothing but praise for Insindamazi's lyrical prowess and artistry. Through their performance, Insindamazi's group members aim to inspire other youngsters. With most youths affected by the surge of drug and substance abuse, the government said it is impressive to see young people taking charge in nurturing and embracing their craft.
It is also good for us as their leaders to identify such talents and to try to link them up with the proper channels or the proper groups that can also groom them and give them skills.
Insindamazi has one album to his name, which he released last year. Lisa Masongo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
We now take a breather, and when we return, Anashe Muromedzi will take us through the latest in sport.
Moshe, have you heard about Marechera?
Hanziko.
But he says keeper. They say he has this glow about him now. He doesn't walk.
Hey.
He glides.
Yo.
And he's so calm that he doesn't perspire.
I heard that he owns a bank.
Let's go.
The most secured bank in the whole world.
And his dollars, he irons his money.
He has got people who irons his money for him.
But have you heard that when he coughs, money just comes out of the blue? Out of the orange.
Let's go.
Hey, yo.
Marechera. Says Keeper, Rakuendeka, introducing the new Mukuru wallet. Send, store, spend. There's Mukuru for that. Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at a discount. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will display the discount you qualify for. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies you won't find anywhere else. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
The Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation is seeking a news and current affairs director to lead the delivery of accurate, timely, and objective news and current affairs content across all platforms for the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, ZBC. The ideal candidate will be a strong leader with a deep understanding of journalistic ethics, public broadcasting principles, and evolving media landscape in Zimbabwe and internationally. Interested candidates who meet the qualifications and experience requirements of this position are encouraged to submit their applications by email to executiverecruitment@zbc.co.zw by the 17th of January 2025, addressed to the Chairperson, Board Human Resources Committee, Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, number 1 Northern Road, Highlands, Harare. For more details, visit our website www.zbc.co.zw.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anna Shamrombedzi here with the latest in the world of sport. Now, Harare Giants and Caps United have started their squad renewal after signing 5 players with a target to win the Casolaga Premier Soccer League title.
Makepe have confirmed the deal to bring in midfielder Tanaka Shandiro on a permanent deal from Yada, having spent the last 2 seasons at Dynamosa. The gritty Shandiro is a direct replacement for enterprising Kingsley Mreremba, who was sold to Scotland FC. The former champions have not stopped there after roping in attacking midfielder Alafa Besila Mabiala from AC Leopards of Congo, who is expected to cover for Rodo Chinyengetere, who will be focusing more on technical duties. The Lloyd Chitembo coach decided has also overhauled their goalkeeping department, which was seen as an Achilles heel of the team, bringing in a lanky Hamonare from ZPC Wange and Stephen Odai Kwaku, who has 11 international caps for Ghana. The two replaced Tondre Matiaungwa and Tapio Rusenza, who have been released. Up front, Makepe have also brought in striker Nyasha Chintule, formerly of Dynamosa, and Manika Diamonds was recently in Eswatini to assist William Anundo, who was the club's main source of goals following the release of Alot Chiwunga. Head coach Aloy Chitembo believes the continuity in the club will be key in achieving their ambitions.
This time is different. We're serious about winning, and there's no way we can't win, and we'll put everything for us to make sure we achieve the things that we set our sights on, which is winning.
The Red Giants are expected to sign 3 more players, as well as bring another coach to assist Chitembwe after the death of respected Nelson Matongorere, while Kwashi joined the Chicken Inn. The Green Machine have been stable for a while, and club president for Nigeria is not mincing his words as he targets the championship.
We don't want them to be afraid of what is happening in other camps. We know what we are doing. With our experience, we are exactly picking the players we want. At Caps United, there's a lot of stability. And we cannot be compared to whatever objective. The other team, yes, the other team, no. We've got our own objective of winning the league this year. And we are doing that business, and we are bringing the right players to the team.
The Green Machine, who have been quietly doing their transfer business, are expected to start training this Tuesday, while those players who had the most minutes last season will resume training on Monday next week. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Aspiring ZIFA Vice President Patience Mutumwa is ready to amplify the voices of the marginalized and develop women's football if elected into office on the 25th of January.
The clock ticks towards the much-awaited ZIFA elections set for the 25th of this month. Aspiring Vice President Patience Mutumwa says amplifying women football in the top echelons of football decision-making is a trump card.
Yes, as women in football, we've been crying for an increase in representation, especially in the decision-making bodies at the higher apex of ZIFA structures, because that's where we can amplify our voices and be heard when we are many. Because previously, if you look at the structures that were there before the new constitution, it was only 1 woman sitting in the executive committee of ZIFA, and you know what that means. Your voice is already weakened because you are one.
Mutumwa believes the newly adopted constitution will change the football administration landscape.
When we say women football needs revamping, we are saying what obtains in men football is what is supposed to obtain in women football. As we are speaking, women football doesn't have provincial structures. It's not even recognized in the ZIFA constitution. The ZIFA constitution only caters for the regional structures as members of the ZIFA assembly. So what does that mean? It means women football starts at regions while the men's structures start at the provinces. And also the other thing, let's also have a committee in the ZIFA structures which monitors what happens in the structures all around, whether for men or for women.
5 candidates Mutumwa Mavis Kumbo, Winnet Murota, Joyce Kapota and Loveness Mukura are jostling to occupy one of the 2 vice presidents positions reserved for women. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawai.
Warriors vice captain Marshall Manetzi continues to shine after registering his first assist in the French League 1 this season for Stade de Reims in a 4-2 loss to Nice on Saturday.
The 2025 season marks the 3rd consecutive season that the PNL will be using the bubble format of hosting matches. This season will kick off with a playoff tournament on the 1st of March, followed by the league, which will commence on the 22nd of March and conclude in the second week of November. In addition to the regular season, the PNL has added the Independence Trophy to its 2025 calendar on top of the Cancer Awareness Tournament.
Last year we only had one cancer campaign awareness games. This year we've introduced the Independence Trophy. So we are going to have our cancer awareness, we are going to have our Independence Trophy alongside with our bubbles of the year.
The PNL will also feature a select team that will compete against teams from other countries, providing a platform for players to gain international experience.
Our apologies, that story was on the Premier Netball League, which is set to continue with the bubble format in the upcoming 2025 season, which is scheduled to start in March. Now, the story on our Warriors Vice Captain Marshall Monetsi continues to shine after registering his first assist in the French League One this season for Stade de Reims in a 4-2 loss to Nice this Saturday.
Zimbabwe international midfielder Marshall Monetsi was one of the top performers foreign-based Warriors at the weekend, with a solid display in the midfield, despite his side Stade de Reims falling 4-2 against Nice. The defensive midfielder, who has 3 goals to his name this season, registered an assist in the 71st minute, when Reims reduced the scoreline to 3-2, but they would concede again in the dying stages of the match. Meanwhile, midfielder Trenyoni continued with his good form after coming in 79th minute and got himself an assist with a brilliant pass to Chiesa on the stroke of the full time as Liverpool cruised into the FA Cup 4th round via a routine 4-0 win over Accrington Stanley on Saturday afternoon. Also, Zimbabwean professional footballer Brandon Galloway put one of his best individual performances of the season to his championship strugglers Plymouth Argyle as they shocked Premier League side Brentford FC 1-0. Galloway played 81 minutes as he put a solid defensive shift at the back of Plymouth. The Zimbabwean international defender's impressive display in the FA Cup comes after he was named in the English Championship Team of the Week after his good performance against Stoke City.
That's it from the Sports Corner. Guys, I take it back to you.
Well, many thanks to Anashim Rombedzi there for giving us our daily dose of sport. And that's all we had for you on the main news this evening. From all of us here, it's good night.
Good night.
Remains the mainstay of Zimbabwe's economy, and various policies